Children, today we are going to read about minerals and energy resources, which is your fifth chapter of geography. The Earth's crust is made up of different minerals found in the rocks, and they are extracted by proper refinement. Minerals are an essential part of our lives. They can be defined as a homogeneous, naturally occurring substance with a definable internal structure. Now, what is a mineral? Rocks are combination of homogeneous substances called minerals. Some rocks, for instance, like limestone, consist of a single mineral only, but majority of the rocks consist of several minerals in varying proportions. Minerals are found in varied forms in nature, ranging from the hardest diamond to the softest talc. The classification of minerals. The minerals are basically classified into three categories: metallic, non-metallic, and energy minerals. Metallic minerals are those minerals which are of three types: ferrous, non-ferrous, and precious. Ferrous are those minerals which have iron content in them, and non-ferrous are those metals which don't have iron content in them. And the precious metals like gold, silver. So ferrous minerals contain iron. They provide a strong base for the development of metallurgical industries, whereas the non-ferrous minerals do not contain iron. They play a vital role in a number of metallurgies and electrical industries. Precious, you all know, gold, silver, platinum are the precious minerals of our country, metals of our country. Okay? Non-metallic are like mica, salt, potash, sulfur, granite, limestone, marble, sandstone, etc. And if we talk about energy minerals, they are coal, petroleum, natural gases, etc. Now, mode of occurrence. Minerals are usually found in ores. What are ores? Ores means an accumulation of any mineral mixed with other elements. Minerals occur in igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary rocks. Minerals such as gypsum, potash, salt, and sodium salt are formed with the help of evaporation, especially in dry regions. Minerals which do not erode by water are found in alluvial deposits, for example, gold, silver, tin, and platinum. The ocean waters contain vast quantities of minerals. Common salt, magnesium, and bromine are largely derived from ocean waters. The ocean belts too are rich in manganese nodules. India is fortunate to have fairly rich and varied mineral resources. Peninsular rocks contain most of the reserves of coal, metallic minerals, mica, and many other non-metallic minerals. In the sedimentary rocks of Gujarat and Assam, most of the petroleum deposits are found. Rajasthan has reserve of many non-ferrous minerals. Now, ferrous minerals, these minerals account for about 3/4 of the total value of the production of metallic minerals. They provide a strong base for the development of metallurgical industries. Examples are iron ore and iron ore. Now, it is the basic mineral of industrial development. Magnetite is the finest iron ore, has excellent magnetic qualities, especially valuable in the electrical industries. Hematite ore is the most important industrial iron ore in terms of quality used. Now, the major iron ore belts in India are Odisha Jharkhand belt. It has high grade hematite ore and mainly it is found in Badamhar mines in the Mayurbhanj and Kendujhar district. In the adjoining Singhbhum district of Jharkhand, hematite iron ore is mined in Goa and Noamundi. Durg Bastar Chandrapur belt, Bellari Chitradurga belt and Maharashtra Goa belt are four major belts where iron ore is found in India. Manganese. Odisha is the largest producer of manganese. The uses of manganese in India are: it is used in manufacturing of steel and ferromanganese alloy. These alloys are strong and are used in making giant machines. It is also used in manufacturing bleaching powder, in insecticides, and it is used in manufacturing of paints. Now we will talk about non-ferrous minerals, which include copper, bauxite, lead, zinc and gold, and they play a very vital role in number of metallurgical and engineering and electrical industries. In the first point, that is copper, we will discuss about copper. India is critically deficient in the reserves and production of copper. Being malleable, ductile and a good conductor, copper is mainly used in electrical cables, electronics and chemical industries. The Balaghat mines in Madhya Pradesh produce 52% of India's copper. The Singhbhum districts of Jharkhand is also a leading producer of copper. The Khetri mines in Rajasthan are also famous for copper reserves. The second mineral which we will talk about is bauxite. Bauxite deposits are formed by the decomposition of a wide variety of rocks rich in aluminium silicates. It is an important metal because it combines the strength of metals such as iron with extremely lightness with good conductivity. They are mainly found in Amarkantak Plateau, Michael Hills and the Plateau regions of Bilaspur. Odisha is the largest bauxite producing state. Panchpatmali deposits in Koraput district, Odisha are the most important bauxite deposits in the state. The next non-metallic mineral is mica. It is a mineral made up of series of plates or leaves. It splits easily into thin sheets. These sheets can be so thin that 1,000 plates can be layered into a mica sheet of a few centimeters high. Due to its excellent dielectric strength, low power loss factor, insulating properties and resistance to high voltage, mica is one of the most indispensable minerals used in electric and electronic industry. Rock minerals. The first one is limestone. It is the basic raw material for the cement industry. It is found in association with rocks composed of calcium carbonates or calcium and magnesium carbonates. It is found in sedimentary rocks of most geological formations. Limestone is the basic raw material for the cement industry. It is essential for smelting iron ore in the blast furnace. The importance of conservation of minerals is mineral resources are being rapidly consumed, which takes millions of years to be created and concentrated. Mineral resources are finite and non-renewable. Continued extraction of ores leads to increased costs as mineral extraction comes from greater depths, although along with decreasing quality. The three measures to conserve minerals are: It should be used in a planned, sustainable manner. Improved technology needs to be constantly evolved to allow use of low-grade ores at low costs. Some of the metals are recyclable. Scrap of metals can be used and some other substitutes can be found. In this way, we can conserve minerals. We should avoid overexploitation of the mineral resources, and we should switch ourselves to the alternative sources like solar energy, hydroelectric energy, wind energy, and other sources which can reduce the consumption of these minerals. Now we will talk about the energy resources. So energy resources are needed to cook, to provide light and heat, to propel vehicles, to drive machineries in industries. The problems which we face with the continued use of sources of energy in rural India are: continuation of these is increasingly becoming difficult due to decreasing forest area. Using dung cakes too is being discouraged because it consumes most valuable manure which could be used in agriculture, and the gas which emits from the burning of these cow dungs pollute the environment. So energy can be generated through other sources as well, and we should find these alternative sources so that the energy which is consumed for the better living of us could be maintained and could be in a sustainable way. So these energy resources are divided into two categories. One is conventional and the other one is non-conventional resources. Now, as I have told you earlier, the energy resources can be broadly classified into two categories. One is conventional sources of energy and other one is non-conventional sources of energy. Conventional sources of energy can be called as non-renewable sources of energy, which means that these sources, once exhausted, could not be recycled. When you use it, it will be finished. But in case of the non-conventional sources of energy, which has another name, which is renewable sources of energy, are those sources of energy which can be recycled or renewed. You can use it and it is unlimited. In case of non-renewable sources of energy, these sources of energy take thousands and thousands of years to be formed again. But in case of renewable sources of energy, they are in abundance in the nature and it doesn't require any time to form again. If we talk about the examples, if we first of all talk about non-renewable resources of energy, in this we can talk about coal first. In India, coal occurred in two geological ages, that is Gondwana and Tertiary deposits. Gondwana is a little over 200 million years in age. The major sources of Gondwana coal, which are metallurgically coal, are located in Damodar Valley, that is West Bengal and Jharkhand. Jharia, Raniganj, Bokaro are important coal fields. Tertiary deposits are only 55 million years old. Tertiary coals occur in the northeastern states of Meghalaya, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh and Nagaland. In India, coal is the most abundantly available fossil fuel. It provides a substantial part of the nation's energy needs. It is used for power generation, to supply energy to industries as well as for domestic needs. India is highly dependent on coal for meeting its commercial energy requirements. If we talk about natural gas or petroleum या mineral oil, Petroleum is also an important energy source in India after coal. It provides fuel for heat and lighting, lubricants for machinery, and raw material to a number of manufacturing industries. Mineral oil is used in lotions and moisturizers. Petroleum refineries act as a nodal industry for synthetic textile, fertilizers, and numerous chemical industries. Now we will talk about renewable sources, in which first of all we'll talk about the natural gas. It is an important and clean energy resource found in association with or without petroleum. It is used as a source of energy as well as an industrial raw material in the petrochemical industries. As a source of energy, it is used in vehicles as compressed natural gas, that is CNG. For cooking purpose, it is used as liquefied petroleum gas, that means LPG. It is considered an environment friendly fuel because of low carbon dioxide emission. Nuclear or atomic energy is obtained by altering the structure of atom. When such an alteration is made, much energy is released in the form of heat, and this is used to generate electric power. It is expected that use of solar energy will be able to ease the dependence of rural household on firewood and dung cakes, which in turn will contribute to environment conservation and adequate supply of manure in the agriculture. Now, conservation of energy resources. We should use renewable energy resources because exhaustibility of non-renewable resources, long years of geological formation of non-renewable resources causes of less pollution available in abundance, environmental friendly. Strong dependence on fossil fuels such as coal, oil and gas is a threat to our environment. Rising prices of oil and gas and their potential shortage, uncertainties about the security of energy supply in future. There is a pressing need to use renewable energy sources like solar energy, wind and tide, biomass and energy from waste material. The mining activities are injurious to health of the miners and environment. For that reason also we should try to switch over non-renewable resources. Now the hazards of mining are the dust and various fumes inhaled by miners make them vulnerable to pulmonary diseases. The risk of collapsing mine roofs, inundation and fires in coal mines are a constant threat to the miners. The water resources in the regions get contaminated due to mining. Dumping of waste and slurry leads to degradation of land, soil and increase in streams and river pollution. So in nutshell we can say that the resources which provide energy should be in that manner which help the smooth functioning of the country, but in the same time it should not hamper the sustainable development, so that the coming generation can also avail the various kinds of energy resources, as well as our environment is also clean and safe for us to survive.